And my man said I look good. Hi, my douchies. Welcome back to the Alchemize podcast. My name is Destiny, and I use the internet as my personal journal, and every entry is me just talking about whatever I want. The topic that I wanted to touch upon today is self-validation. I remember being a very extrinsically focused person. I was very much a people pleaser. I was very dependent on other people's validation of me, and I realize now that I've kind of grown out of that a little bit more, how debilitating that condition can be when you're not feeling totally happy in your skin, and anyone that anyone else could say can just throw you off, you know? Having that as default can be pretty detrimental to your mental health, and for me it definitely was. I remember that, especially when it came to dating, or if somebody likes me, if I figured out somehow that this man was not into me, it would crush me. And I would blame it on everything else except the fact that it's not personal. He just doesn't like me. I also realized that the external validation went so far that even when I validated someone else, I couldn't give myself that same love back. For example, I have beautiful friends, people who are just 10 out of 10s, right? But I would look at them and I would think, ooh, she's so pretty, she's so amazing, she's gorgeous. And then because I don't see the same thing back in the mirror, I would automatically deem myself not beautiful because I don't replicate my friend, which doesn't make much sense. You know, we're all beautiful. You know, a rose can never be a tulip can never be a rose, a dandelion can never be a sunflower, and that's okay. But they're all beautiful in their own special way. And if you're a tulip hoping to be a rose, how are you going to ever be happy? You know, there's plenty of people who pay loads of money to go see the tulips in Amsterdam. So you have value, but you have to believe it first in order for others also to recognize it. And that's the path that I've been walking lately. A couple of practical things that I've been doing is a lot of mirror work. So looking at myself, admiring myself, loving up on myself, giving myself compliments whenever I feel like I did something right, whenever I can tell that maybe I'm leaning more towards that external validation again. I try to bring it back and ask myself for my own opinion about a situation instead of focusing on what other people are opinionating on it. For example, right now, I'm sitting in the middle of basically the main square of our town. I'm at Wilhelmina Plain, sitting in front of the douchey sign for my douchies. I could be wondering right now what everyone who's sitting at the restaurants having their coffee at a cafe is thinking about me. But instead, I'm focused on my podcast and talking to you guys and enjoying this experience, because I'm internally validated right now. I feel so proud of myself for having the courage to think of this beautiful topic to share with people that I'm fond of, taking my butt from work and coming to Bunda to film this. I feel very, very proud of myself for doing this. And because I feel that way, other people's opinions is not really my concern right now. And so the best thing that you can do for yourself is find reasons to validate yourself, or find small things throughout the day that make you proud of being yourself, that make you happy to be the person that you are. And the more you practice it, the more things you'll find to be happy about. You know, I remember I would just start with, oh, you know, I like my smile today in the morning. Or, you know what, I'm glad that I woke up at the time that I said that I would. Or, okay, I'm so glad that I cooked this beautiful meal, and the people that were at my house today were so glad that they got to eat it. They enjoyed it so much. It's little things like that that grow your own confidence in yourself and eventually become the parts of you that you just feel so happy to embody. You know, it's also important to make yourself your own internalized beauty standard. I think if you're always looking up to the Bella Hadids or I don't know, I really like Bella Hadid. That's the only person I just came up with. Anyway, if you have celebrities that you really look up to, but they don't represent anything of what you could ever become, again, if we take the example of flowers, if you are a rose and you are looking at a sunflower being like, oh my God, I wish I was a sunflower, then how could you ever be happy, right? So maybe you look at sunflowers from a different country and you're like, oh, that sunflower kind of looks like me, but she has this different type of feature. Maybe I can work on myself and look the way that this sunflower looks. Or maybe there's an enhancement that this flower is exhibiting that I could also do to make myself feel a little bit more pretty today. And I used to believe that beauty and liking yourself came effortlessly for the ones that deserved it, which is such a low self-esteem mentality, turns out that you're the one who creates the self-esteem that you want. You create the environment in your mind that is either going to be open to the bloom of beautiful thoughts or is going to make all the beautiful things wilt. So I think to start finding self-validation, it's important to work from the inside out. One thing that has really helped me in this journey is shadow work. Looking at parts of me, I think I've spoken about this before in a different video as well. Looking at parts of me that I didn't want to accept, finally accepting them and realizing that it's okay that I was the way that I was. And it's also okay that I want to change the way that I was. Because we're all about evolving and becoming better and growing. That's part of life. Life comes in seasons. A flower also doesn't bloom all year. You know, it lets go of its petals. Another piece is grown out of it and beautiful things arise out of that. So accepting the way that I am and also acknowledging that I want to change without judgment and practicing shadow work. So with that, I want to leave you guys with the beautiful thought to just remember to always validate yourself. Okay, you're the creator of your reality. Life is for you, not happening to you. So make whatever you want out of it and don't let the outside world tell you who you should be. Thank you for being with me today. You're always welcome to like, subscribe, and share with your friends if you like what you heard here today. And I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye, my douchies.